Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about how to make currency later in the league. So there's a few things to know. As you might have already seen, there is a player drop-off always when elite league gets a little bit later. So for example, in month one, everybody plays, everybody's mapping, everybody needs everything basically. You can sell whatever, it's pretty easy, but you might have seen in the last few weeks a little bit of a drop-off. Stuff doesn't insta-sell anymore, even if you're like the cheapest. So you have to kind of change your strategy if you're still playing that late in the league. And that's mostly to think about who's still playing. And most of the people who are still playing are the people who already farmed a lot of currency. They already have their atlas unlocked, so they don't need mapping stuff. What they need is crafting materials. A lot of the people still in this league are standard crafters or people who just want to gamble their currency away because they don't care about standard, and they all want the same thing. They want crafting materials. That means fossils, that means essences. Now, obviously a lot of people are doing different things. Some people are still experimenting, but that's the typical trend that I can observe. And one of the things is you wanna be the guy who gives them their materials. So I will explain here in a second how exactly you do that, but let's start out with my Atlas passives here. We're Essence Elk and Go. Elk and Go refers to just blasting through a map. You're not juicing it with scarabs, with expensive sextants or whatever. What you're doing is you're doing a lot of maps and you're doing them fast, and I will tell you why exactly. So a lot of people in this league are doing Harbinger farming where they take like 30 minutes for a map or whatever. They are doing Lexijoris, 100% Delirious maps. They are doing ritual vessel farming up here in Heroic Hamlet, where we are as well. But we're doing something completely different. So I'm not going to say that these strategies are not valid. Just in my personal experience, what I'm about to show you is better currency-wise. It just requires you to have a pretty fast build, but obviously you can scale that down. So let's talk about essences, right? So these two nodes here are absolutely ridiculous. I want you to understand how ridiculous these are. Area contains an additional essence is huge with everything that we're going to talk about. And then you have amplified with essences found in areas are a tier higher. And this is the money maker. So here we basically have every screaming essence is going to get turned into a shrieking essence, which gives you monies. And every wailing, I think wailing it's called, gets into a screaming essence. So it actually isn't the brick. So this is just huge. And we're going to talk about this exactly, but you will want to farm these here. And these are the corrupted essences. But for now, let's go over the rest. So I took the ritual nodes as well, but I am not using any ritual vessels. I think it's a scam. I'm just going to say it outright. I want to farm these to sell them, and I can farm a lot. If I have these in with the right Watchstone, which we're also going to go over, you might already know it, you can get like one ritual vessel per encounter of ritual, which means like 50C per encounter, which is completely outrageous. And I have not seen anybody who makes the currency I make with this kind of ritual vessel farming. So I just sell them. I think it's way better that way. Maybe it was better to do ritual vessels when they were like 30C, but nowadays, no way. No fucking way. So these two are really important. Areas have plus 10% chance to contain ritual altars. It's whatever. And ritual altars in areas allow rerolling 2 additional times. And you get some special rewards, whatever. We don't really want the special, I mean, obviously we want them, but mostly we just want the splinters to make ritual vessels. And this is really, really nice. The standard chance to get a ritual is like 8%, I think, if I remember correctly. So even without using this, this gets us at an 18% chance. We're completing maps lightning fast, so we're gonna see one every 5th map for free without having to spend 50C. And in the end, you can go either way. Groves Call if you want to do Sacred Groves. If you care about Harvest, I don't really. I just want to have more June missions to farm more Winged Harpy, Scarabs, and Icelings, but whatever floats your boat. Now, the biggest reason we want to go Elk and Go is these 4 here. So they buffed this node here to 1% chance for synthesis maps to drop from unique bosses. What that means is that every 100th map, just from this map alone, you're going to get either one of the 60 to 70 C maps or the Cortex, which is like 3.5x at the moment. So that's huge, and it wants you to complete more maps. So the less maps you run, if you make your maps like harder, if you make them longer with like breaches, with abysses, with legions, you will get less from this node. And the same is true for Remnants of the Past. 3% chance to get an Elder Guardian map on completion or a Shaper. Both can occur at the same time. Both are separately rolled. So this is also huge. And it also wants you to go fast and not make your map crazy. So then we have Sextant modifiers have one additional use, which is always great. It saves you a lot of cost on Prime Sextants, which we're going to talk about. And last but not least, this one is important. 25% increased effect of Watchstone modifiers. We are using a meticulous Haywark Hamlet Watchstone. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. So ritual altars always have 4 ritual altars. And what that means is with this effect here, 25% increased means you always have 5, which means a lot more tribute award, a lot more re-rolling going on. You can farm a lot more of these to sell. This will be a big money maker, and you will see it when you start getting into those maps. It's actually crazy. This Watchstone currently is very expensive. I don't remember. I think it's like 8x or something. So if you don't want to go for it, sure, but you will lose out on money, just to be clear here. But the rest of the Watchstones are actually pretty run-of-the-mill. These are 15% chance to have an additional essence. Second mod doesn't matter. I just stack these times 3 to get even more essences. All right, but why do we use Prime Sextants? Why not the Awakened Sextants, or maybe Simple Sextants, or no Sextants at all? Well, it's just for this mod here, basically. So obviously Sextants are always worth using, in my opinion. We can take whatever gives us more mobs for the map. It's always nice to have, but this is the main mod that we want to hit. You don't need to force this mod. It basically gives you a lot of Remnants of Corruption, which as of this recording are like 6C each in bulk. So that's a ton. You're going to see a lot of these, and we're going to use them to create corrupted essences. But what this also does is 2 essences per area. So 2 times 4, that's 8 additional essences whenever you hit this mod. Do not hard roll for it. If this is like if this was like another mod that gives us more mobs, I would keep it. Just run the 4 maps. It takes like 7 minutes or something, maybe 8 minutes, and then you're back to doing this again. You'll hit it around every 4th or 5th rotation is kind of the chance, or at least in my experience. But yeah, do that. And then let's talk about the essences real quick, because just to clarify this, you can make these essences by using a Remnant of Corruption on an essence that contains one of these essences. So these have a chance to transform into these. And Essence of Hysteria, Delirium, Insanity, and Horror are about, if you're selling them in bulk, around 35 to 50C currently, and they're really easy to get. I'm talking, when I do like a day of farming with like 14 hours, let's say, I have around 100 of these. So yeah, Remnant of Corruption, always worth doing. And I will talk about it because I know a lot of people who don't want to open their inventory when they're mapping. I get it. You want to just flow through the map. You want to go fast. But I guarantee you it's worth it. I was in the same camp as you. Just do it. Seriously. You have to get used a little bit to seeing these, because if you're going fast, you obviously don't want to stop every time and like look if it's the right one. Just kind of memorize this purple-ish into bluish color. You might make a few mistakes where you misclick, but you'll get the drift real quick. So Scorn, Misery, Dread, Envy. You can also write it down. You can memorize it if you're smart. But yeah, these are the 4 essences that you want to corrupt to upgrade to this. Also, something to mention here, why it's really good to Remnant, is because of this note here, essences found in areas are a tier higher. Shrieking essences can actually spawn naturally. So one of the outcomes of Remnant of Corruption is that every essence gets a tier higher, and you're actually going to get Deafening essences, which are the highest tier, and they go from anywhere to 5 to 15C. And you can have like multiple of them on a essence. So that's really good. A nice side effect. I personally wouldn't use these just on normal Shriekings. I would only use Remnants when I have one of these and I can actually have a chance to upgrade into those. But yeah. As for maps, there is two options in my opinion. I think the by far best option is Atoll Maps. They have a very good layout. We will do a trial run in a second. But basically, they will make it so you can easily complete these maps very fast. You can also go for Cemetery. It's a nice-ish layout with an easy boss. And you can also get the Brothers Stash Divination card, which is 5x. But in my experience, it's really, really rare. So I would rather have a better layout and just be faster in general. On average, I think it's going to make you more than 5x back if you just can complete the maps faster. But to each their own. If you like the other layout better, that's completely fine. As for the trial run, I'm using my Fulcrum character. If you haven't checked this one out already, I have a build guide up on it. What you want to use here always is the Sana map mod with 2 additional essences, and areas can contain essences. 2 additional essences for 2C is a no-brainer. Even if this costed like 8C, it would still be worth it. That's how strong it is. But yeah, let's just do a map here and see how it goes. So Atoll has a very interesting layout. In the middle section, you're usually going to see all the interesting stuff happening. So there is going to be a lot of essences here. As you can see, they're right here. Then here's another. And as you go up, there's another. And here's the, usually either up here or down here is the ultimatum. And ultimatum is also something you want to do. But I will point this out. You only want to do the short ultimatums, so you can complete the maps faster and get to more essences. That means you want to do the protect the altar and the kill mobs. You do not want to do the survival or the stone circles. Probably not doing stone circles anyways, but you also don't want to do the survival. They make your maps too long. They're not worth your time, in my opinion. So let's just go through this. We just go here, and my eyes already glanced over this. Usually you can do this real quick. And I should actually go back and grab some more remnants here because I saw we have more than one. Something to note here is you will want to buy some remnants at the start. Usually you can actually sustain these and just with the Sextants. But at the start, if you don't hit it immediately, you want to have like a buffer. So maybe buy like 1 or 2x worth of remnants and you'll be completely fine. The 134 corrupted essences I had were from I think 50 at the start, so they do multiply very much. And what you do is you just click on here and we hit an Essence of Hysteria, so that's pretty nice. Now let's go up here, and this one has a remnant already. If it's corrupted already, you cannot corrupt it again. And now we just go around. So if the ultimatum is here, you do it immediately. The reason for that is once you're done with the ultimatum, there will be a loot shower, and the loot shower takes a little to spawn. So it takes like 6 seconds or something for all the currency to drop. So if you do this and you just start running, you'll come there back eventually, but you don't have to stand there for like 5 to 6 seconds, saving you time. So you go here and you just complete this, you go through the rest of the map, or there's another, I just saw that there is nothing here that we want to corrupt. So we go on. Like I said, at the start, you might have to look at it a little bit better. Maybe you don't have experience with the essences and whatnot, or maybe you already do. This one was already corrupted, so I know I can't corrupt it again, even if I wanted to. And here we can now do this. And let's just quickly go through this ultimatum. I will actually, just for the sake of this video, skip the ultimatum so we can move on. But usually you're going to circle around there anyway, so it doesn't matter if it drops. I will show you in a second. So here's the bosses. Doesn't really matter. Just going to zoom. And we go around. So that's basically it. If you have a slower build, just look. It's still fine because you might have really good single target then, and you won't have any problem against the essences. So that's still fine. So you circle around, and we see here there's 2 that could be corrupted, and we got lucky and we hit 2 more. This was pretty lucky. I just want to say that right off the bat. Usually you don't hit that many right away. But yeah, so I would say average is like 0.5 to 1 of these per map rotation. So yeah, these make a lot of bucks. I just wanted to show you this. Atoll is in my opinion, the best map, but I will point out that if you want to do different maps, you can even do like Maven rotations if you want to. It doesn't matter. You're going to be more efficient with Atolls, but if you want different layouts, have your fun. So that's basically it. Important note here, do not mindlessly upgrade your essences. Know what you're doing. So there is a few essences that you really don't want to upgrade, or you're just gonna lose currency. So most of them are fine. You should probably do the work yourself and just look at how the price differences are. An upgrade is like 3 to upgrade. So for example, if I upgrade this, 4 will go down to 1 and I will get an extra deafening. But what you want to look at is the prices, because a lot of people are crafting stuff with shriekings or even with screamings in the greed case. So I think greed was the only essence where I left it at screaming, and it sold for, on average, 3 screamings sell for more than shriekings. Everything else, it's kind of even. Shriekings to deafenings is another story. I think I left contempts and I left greeds at shrieking because they're not worth upgrading. And what I definitely left was zeals. They are completely not worth upgrading. I also left envy. I don't remember exactly. Better check it out yourselves. And do never upgrade Shrieking Essence of Dread, because people want this for the +2 level of Socketed Bow Gems. And while the Deafening versions upgrades all the other ones, those are not used. They also only give +2 to Bow Gems. So always leave this one at Shrieking. The Deafenings are basically worth exactly the same. So if you're pushing the upgrade button, you're just deleted 1/3 of your essences, basically. I just want to make this one clear, because it's not like I see people just spam upgrading them, but be careful with that. Look at the prices, or you're gonna delete a lot of currency. At the end, I want to note one really important thing here is a lot of the money you will make from essences is through bulk selling. I will make a separate video on this in the future, very soon actually, but there is a difference if you sell 5 Shrieking Essences of Greed in price, or if you have like 100, like I have here. Because people want to buy more than one, so they have to do less trades. So you actually have to search on PoE Trade for whoever has more than 20 and get your price from there. Do not price them too low. So basically what I mean is do farming sessions. That means don't sell after like 10 maps or 20 maps. Just farm like 2 to 3 days, however much time you have, and sell afterwards. When you have like hundreds of essences, there will be people who will take them all at once. So you can price them all at once. These 98 here, somebody's gonna buy them all at once. And you only have to do 1 trade, and they will pay you more because you have more. So that's really, really important when selling this. The same even goes for these here. People sell these ones at the moment for 31C each, but if you have more, they're like 36, 37. Pretty same for the Insanity at the moment. The Horror, a lot of people want them for helmet crafting, so alone they would be like 42C, but they go up to like 50 or 52C even if you have a lot of them. So this strategy really rewards very long farming sessions. And yeah, that's it for the end of the video. If you liked it, thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I hope you guys make some monies here, maybe buy your Headhunter, even that late in the league. Always remember that people will always go for crafting materials. So if you provide them with that, you'll get the monies. And since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.